In the last video, we talked about why the Israelites spent 40 years in the desert when the journey from Egypt to the Promised Land was only 11 days. What do you think it's like to live in the desert? What provisions would you need, and how long would those provisions last? Hello, I'm Kathy Bartow. Well, the Israelites soon discovered that they had run out of these provisions. But instead of asking Moses to ask God for these two commodities, they grumbled and complained to Moses. Of course, God heard them. Listen to Exodus chapter 16, verses 2 through 5. Then the whole Israelite community grumbled to Moses and Aaron in the desert. The Israelites said to them, "It would have been better if the Lord had killed us in the land of Egypt. There we had meat to eat. We had all the food we wanted. But you have brought us into this desert. You will starve us to death here." Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will cause food to fall like rain from the sky. This food will be for all of you. Every day the people must go out and gather what they need for that day. I will do this to see if the people will do what I teach them. On the 6th day of each week, they are to gather twice as much as they gather on other days. Then they are to prepare it." In addition to the manna, God gave the people quail. In this next passage, you will learn the instructions that God gave through Moses for the people regarding the manna. They were to only gather a certain amount per person each morning, and twice as much on the day before the Sabbath. They were then to rest on the Sabbath. There would be no food to gather. Here's Exodus 16, verses 13 through 31. That evening quail came and covered the camp. And in the morning dew lay around the camp. When the dew was gone, thin flakes like frost were on the desert ground. When the Israelites saw it, they asked each other, "What is that?" They asked this question because they didn't know what it was. So Moses told them, "This is the bread the Lord has given you to eat. The Lord has commanded each one of you must gather what he needs. Gather about 2 quarts for every person in your family." So the people of Israel did this. Some people gathered much and some gathered little. Then they measured it. The person who gathered more did not have too much. The person who gathered less did not have too little. Each person gathered just as much as he needed. Moses said to them, "Don't keep any of it to eat the next day." But some of the people did not listen to Moses. They kept part of it to eat the next day. But it became full of worms and began to stink. So Moses was angry with these people. Every morning, each person gathered as much food as he needed, but when the sun became hot, it melted away. On the 6th day, the people gathered twice as much food. They gathered 4 quarts for every person. So all the leaders of the community came and told this to Moses. Moses said to them, "This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow is the Sabbath day, the Lord's holy day of rest. Bake what you want to bake and boil what you want to boil today, but save the rest of the food until tomorrow morning." So the people saved it until the next morning, as Moses had commanded, and none of it began to stink or have worms in it. Moses told the people, "Eat the food you gathered yesterday. Today is a Sabbath, the Lord's day of rest. So you will not find any out in the field today. You should gather the food for 6 days, but the 7th day is Sabbath day. On that day, there will not be any food on the ground." On the 7th day, some of the people went out to gather food, but they couldn't find any. Then the Lord said to Moses, "How long will all you people refuse to obey my commands and teachings? Look, the Lord has made the Sabbath a day of rest for all of you. So on the 6th day, he will give you enough food for 2 days. But on the Sabbath, each of you must stay where you are. Do not leave your house." So the people rested on the Sabbath. The people of Israel called the food manna. The manna was like small white seeds. It tasted like wafers with honey. And what about water? Again, the people should have prayerfully asked the Lord for water. Instead, they challenged Moses, which was a direct rebuff to God. Listen to Exodus chapter 17, verses 2 through 7. So they quarreled with Moses. They said, "Give us water to drink." But Moses said to them, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why are you testing the Lord?" But the people were very thirsty for water, so they grumbled against Moses. They said, "Why did you bring us out of Egypt? Was it to kill us, our children, and our farm animals with thirst?" So Moses cried to the Lord, "What can I do with these people? They're almost ready to kill me with stones." The Lord said to Moses, "Go ahead of the people of Israel and take some of the elders of Israel with you. Carry with you this walking stick that you used to strike the river Nile. Now go. I will stand in front of you on a rock, Mount Sinai. Hit that rock with the stick and water will come out of it. Then the people can drink." Moses did these things as the elders of Israel watched. Moses named the place Massah because the Israelites tested the Lord. They asked, "Is the Lord with us or not?" He also named it Meribah because they quarreled. Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, "Continue to ask and God will give it to you. Continue to search and you will find. Continue to knock and the door will open for you." Yes, everyone who continues asking will receive. He who continues searching will find, and he who continues knocking will have the door open for him. But you need to trust and obey the commands of the Lord. Have you talked to the Lord lately? Till next time, peace be with you.